My name is CarneyGavin, and I'm a priest and also an archaeologist. I am involved primarily in the Middle East, but in honor of your special project here, I'm very happy to bring a very special set of photographs that mean a lot to me. The person that you recorded just before me was talking about Pedix Island and the Italian prisoners on there. My mother is here photographed on Pedix Island, and she used to teach in the North End English as a second language courses, and she spoke Italian. And this is Fort Andrews on Pedix Island, and she's reading the garden section. And the historian of photography thought that this was maybe in the 30s for a variety of reasons, not least her wonderful hat. I remember Fort Andrews because her older brother received his Legion of Honor when he returned from the war there. The story I want to tell you is about how she met, her name was Grace Carney, and how she met my father, Patrick Gavin. As I say, my name is CarneyGavin. My father was a portrait painter, and this is probably a self-portrait that he made in the 1920s, because this is something from his letter home to his parents, which looks like a sketch for what he later was to do. And he's explaining that underneath the eyes are not pouches, but rather the shadow of the glasses. And he's wearing one of his snappy blue shirts, and it was clean. So that was 1927, the letter. And he, after studying in Florence, he taught in Florence for 4 years, and then was invited to teach at the Royal Conservatory of Art in Dresden. So he's overseas a long time. And my mother's mother, and this is my mother as a student or graduate student in the early 30s, studying biochemistry, which led her to the position of chief pathologist for the Commonwealth, in charge of the biochemistry lab in Long Island Hospital. My mother is here in Everett and Prattville, Massachusetts, at their home of Lincoln Hill. And because the families had been intertwined for generations and generations, in fact, when Andrew Carney founded the first Carney Hospital, the chiefs of medicine and surgery were respectively Doctors Michael and Dr. Patrick Gavin, after whom the school and so forth. This is her as a student, and it seems that my mother's mother would ask her every day when she came home from her lab, "Did you say hello to that nice young Mr. Gavin who's just returned from Germany?" And he, I understand, is painting a portrait of the director. And my mother said, "Oh, it was too busy today." Finally, one day, she finished early and ran down to the director's office and said, "Where's that Mr. Gavin?" "Oh, he's such a nice guy." "Well, that's what everybody says, but where is he?" "Well, the director had to give a lecture at Harvard Medical School this afternoon, and so he asked him as a favor." Remember where there was that leak in the dome of the chapel, in the hospital chapel last winter? He's gotten them to plaster it and paint it blue, and the scaffolding is still up there. And he said, "Since I can't sit for you this afternoon, would you go down and continue the pattern of golden stars on the blue sky of the dome?" And so he gladly went down there. He's a nice guy. "Oh my goodness, but I got to meet that police boat." This was long before the bridge to Long Island. So in the dusk, she ran down, not knowing the same workers that had put up the scaffolding for him as he was whistling to paint the golden stars on the heaven. As she ran down in the dusk, these same workers had evidently lifted up gratings that were over the heating units, sunk into the floor. And before she knew it, she slipped down and fell into the gratings. So as my father, Patrick Gavin, is painting the golden stars on the dome of the heaven, he hears, "Help! Help!" And he clambered down the scaffolding, said, "Where are you?" "I'm down here." And they met by my father pulling my mother out of a hole. So as CarneyGavin, I owe a lot to the Harbor Islands, and particularly the golden stars of the heaven on the dome of the heavens in the chapel, the old chapel in Long Island Hospital, and whoever lifted up those gratings.
What a great story.
Isn't that wonderful?